Hi, my name is Brittany Davis. We loved talking with Mark recently, um, and wanted to share with you a little more about what he's doing and some other ideas that he made us think of that we'd be happy to share with your teachers. So, seeing his rock cycle and how he was able to connect that to computer science, and while doing that with distance learning, was incredible. And we're so grateful that he's willing to let us share that out with other teachers. We've had teachers reaching out saying, hey, what are some quick ways that I can take what I'm doing in my classroom and convert it to distance learning? And what he's doing reminded me of some other ways that we've seen teachers use Lucid to help visually represent ideas. There's another teacher in 8th grade who helped the students take a section of the text, and this was exactly what Mark was saying, where the text, scientific text, can be really dense. It can be complex and hard to digest all of that information in a usable way. So similar to what Mark is doing, this teacher helped walk his students through taking a portion of that text and mapping it out. So having different shapes that represent the headings and then capturing the key information and how they interact together, how they might be related, so that there was more clarity and then students could actually use that knowledge to do something. So I love seeing the power of what Mark is doing. It also reminded me of a district we worked with in Connecticut, who this is actually 4th grade. They had students break up into groups. This was a group of 4 students, and the teacher posed a question: why do hurricanes impact us? And so the students started kind of a web quest of sorts where they're looking up information and they were visualizing it here. They started with the Sahara Desert. Different students were working on mapping out parts of the system. Others were doing maybe this Atlantic Ocean and how they interact and modeling that out. The cool thing is, and Mark mentioned this too, they paused right here. Initially, they didn't have this green landform. And the teacher said, hey, the question was, how do or why do hurricanes impact us? Where's the impact to us? So, like we all do in life, they were able to iterate, but it wasn't burdensome because they didn't have to erase. Like, this canvas is an infinite canvas and it just kept stretching. So they were able to build that idea on and show the whole system and be doing this type of larger thinking, where if we can visualize the system, we can analyze different parts. And then they shared it out with a local meteorologist. So the students were working simultaneously, building together here, and then able to invite others in to take that learning outside of the classroom and make it really relevant and engage with others. So they're like doing something with this learning. We saw a 6th grade science teacher have students try to comprehend this information about a meadow ecosystem and use it to answer this question: describe how the muskrat would be affected if disease kills the white oak trees. So here was the first attempt. It's crumpled up. Next attempt, there's color. Then the student was taught how to insert an image and how to draw a line and use a chart, just those 2 things. And in 5 minutes, the teacher shared, the student had mapped this out and was not only talking about how it affected muskrat, but then was extending the learning and talking about, well, now I can visualize how it's affecting the meadow vole and the crayfish, and so could talk about the larger system as well. We've had teachers doing that with other subjects in other grades as well. 7th grade social studies, they're switching learning online and decided to put a question, take the learning objective, transform it into a question, and put that in the middle. Why did America win the Revolutionary War? It's pretty amazing what happened with this. And they took their findings to a local historical society. They created a persuasive brochure about the role of women. That's apart from this answering this question, why did America win the Revolutionary War? But about the role of women, and proposed to the Historical Society that they include women in their exhibits more. One other one I wanted to share with you quickly is we were talking with an elementary math teacher. He teaches 4th grade math, and he's helping his students at home still have digital manipulatives. So they drag this box over to form this fraction because his students need help visualizing that or conceptualizing that So it's not just an abstract number. And this way they can do it really easily and the shapes stay the same and they're not having to draw it out and they don't have to have the blocks or cubes at home. Here's another example of that. And one last one that I'd like to share with you is this chalk talk. This is a high school English teacher who, when she actually teaches at an international school in China, it's based off of US standards, Common Core standards. So when they made the switch to distance learning, which she said they've been doing since February 2nd, she wanted her students to still have that rich discussion experience. So they put 2 texts that they were reading on this document, and then she introduced students to this key that taught them how they could respond, how they would share main ideas or reasons or textual evidence or ask questions. And then for 10 minutes, a group of 8 students was in here working, responding to each other, and she could see what they were doing, and they could be asking her questions, commenting as well. And they loved this chance to be connecting still, but about something with real meaning. And she still was able to adapt the lesson. They did it for 10 minutes. They had a quick recap of it for another 10 minutes. And then they gave another reading assignment for the week and synced back up the following week. So really cool to see what some teachers are doing. We have several toolkits that we've built that could be helping teachers right now if they're looking for ways or tips from experts or other teachers of how have you taken what you're doing in the classroom and moved it online. And we also have a literacy toolkit that's helping as schools and districts come to us and say, our students are struggling or just need extra support in reading and writing. What can we do to help that deep literacy be authentic for them? So we'd love to share that with you as well. Let's jump on a quick half-hour call and be able to demonstrate these toolkits to you a little more, which we'd be happy to give to your teachers right now. Thanks so much.